Hey everyone, I just saw this interview with Anthony Scaramucci on Fox News, and I thought I would play it and give a little commentary on the way. This guy, Anthony Scaramucci, he's so pathetic. He got fired from the Trump organization, from the Trump administration. He was going to be the communications director or something. And then after he gets fired from there, he wants to get the job back. So he goes around on all the different news and does all these interviews talking about how wonderful Trump is, trying to get his job back. And then, what do we have now? We have Biden. According to all the polls, Biden's going to win. I don't believe most of the polls, but according to the polls, Biden's going to win. So Anthony Scaramucci sees that, and I've seen some people ask the question, is Anthony Scaramucci now endorsing Biden because he wants a job in the Biden administration? So maybe all along it's not about who he's supporting. It's not about actually believing in Trump or believing in Biden. Maybe, just maybe, it's more about wanting to have some power in a presidential administration. But let's play this interview. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
This now, a former White House Communications Director, Anthony. Good morning, welcome, great of you to be here. So I just have a question. I mean, Anthony, you and I spent a lot of the election cycle back in 2016 together. And how does Anthony Scaramucci support raising the corporate tax?
That is a great question. You support Biden, who day one wants to get rid of the corporate tax. Day one, he wants to take it from 21% that it currently is and increase it to 35%. And he says he's a business person.
Well, it's a combination of things. You know, Anthony Scaramucci supports patriotism and the institutions of
It's so funny the way he always talks about himself in the first person, but anyway.
our democracy and the rule of law in the country and not trying to subvert that. I also support science and not fictitious things or politicizing the use of masks or trying.
He doesn't support fictitious things, but now he's talking about how Trump was part of the Russian collusion thing, which is 100% proved to be fictitious. But in order to gain political points with Biden, just maybe, he's now supporting a fictitious thing.
Trying to fire somebody inside the federal government that's been there for 36 years that's trying to protect the American people.
You and I have a past of talking about the economy, and back when you supported Donald Trump in 2016, you made it very clear that the reason people should vote for Donald Trump was his view on corporate taxes. No, but by supporting Joe Biden,
You gotta fix well, of course I'm supporting that because we have to remove Mr. Trump so that we can save the country from the pandemic.
Yeah, right. Remove Mr. Trump so we can save the country from the pandemic. Like Biden's really going to have a chance of saving the country from the pandemic. Yeah, right.
You cannot cure the economic ills of the country if you let the virus rage in 47 states. So we're going to work on the virus, and then we'll work on the economy. I'll just remind everybody, when the Bush administration transitioned into the Obama administration, it was a pretty good economy. The Federal Reserve is not changing its policies, and so therefore, that's the reason why the stock market's up.
So when you compare the economy under Biden and Obama in all those 8 years, even today, post-pandemic, the economy, unemployment rates, the Dow Jones, S&P 500, all of the stock markets, they're doing better today, and people's 401ks, doing better today than any of the 8 years under the Biden administration.
Vice President, which I predict will win tomorrow, is at 90%.
I'd love to see his expression if Biden doesn't win tomorrow. He's going to be one of the people I'll be watching for in interviews post-election.
Chance of winning. The market is up. The betting markets are with Joe Biden. So the consensus is that he's going to be way better for the economy. Don't go by me. Look at the J.P. Morgan study, the Goldman Sachs study, or the Moody's study.
You don't have to look at any studies. You just have to use basic logic. If corporate tax rate goes up to 35%, is that going to help businesses? If more regulations are put in place, is that going to help businesses? No, it won't. So I don't care what the Moody study says or any of these studies. It's not going to be beneficial to businesses, and the economy is not going to go up under Biden. Now, if there's an initial stimulus. Sure, you'll get a little blip from the initial stimulus, but you can't keep putting stimulus in the market forever and ever and ever. It's not going to work.
Just go by them if you don't want to go by me.
But to be clear,
step one, kill the virus.
Hold on. Goldman Sachs, to be clear, so our audience knows, talks about the initial stimulus, the initial spur of money and investment that would go into the system and how that would trigger an economic boom. But years down the line, Goldman Sachs said that all the cost of that would outweigh the benefits. So you have to take that all into consideration. Hold on.
Come on, look at the cost now. You're running a $3.5 trillion budget deficit. You know, this is not a conservative president. I mean, if anybody thinks this is conservatism, what?
Yeah, running a $3.5 trillion budget deficit. Why? Didn't we do something called a little stimulus package earlier on because we shut down everything in the government? We shut down everything because of the coronavirus? Yes.
What book are they reading? Let's take it to chill for 1 second. Okay, Moody's is calling for 7.5. Sandra, Moody's is saying that there'll be 7.5 million additional jobs under the Biden program than the Trump program. But the president already knows he's going to lose. Okay, the way he's campaigning, he's over the next 4 years.
Makes that very clear that does not happen quickly. Here's Bidenomics. Here's the Wall Street Journal editorial board. They give us their take. Bidenomics failed the first time. Claims that he'll spur growth, ignore that his policies are a repeat of the stagnant Obama years.
Yep, Biden had 47 years to do everything he's talking about doing. Why didn't he do it?
Anthony, I ask you this because you are a big
with all due respect to
guy.
you, Sandra, the market is telling you something, okay? The market is rallying off a Biden victory.
Now he's saying the market's rallying. Today the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it is up. But what about last week when the market was tanking? It was up, I think it was like 28 something, now it's 26 something. So it was up about 2,000 points. Why wasn't he saying this last week? The reason the market is up today is it has a correction. Last week it was going down, now it's correcting.
The market recognizes that we have to heal the country. The president has made us weaker, sicker, and poorer as a nation, okay? And you got to get the science right on this thing.
And maybe the market's rallying because even the fake polls are showing that Trump and Biden are getting closer. So if you look at it from a month ago or so, Trump is doing quite a bit better in even the fake polls.
So that we can tamp down the virus and end the number of deaths and mortality. You and I are both business people.
That's why I'm
Sandra, you're not listening. So let's talk about crisis management.
Nobody can hear us
talking over me, though.
Hold on. This is your exact words from an interview in 2016 supporting Donald Trump. If you lower those taxes, corporate taxes, and make us more competitive with the rest of the world, you will create incentive for people to stop leaving the United States. You'll stop corporations from doing tax inversion. You were so passionate about that being such a central focus of the...
Oh yeah, you can search Anthony Scaramucci on YouTube. Go back in 2016, unless YouTube has deleted all those, but go back to 2016 and watch all the interviews where he's just worshiping Trump for everything he's doing. And now it's worshiping Biden for everything he's doing. This guy is pathetic.
The Trump campaign, and this time around you're supporting a candidate that is talking about raising that corporate tax rate by more than 10% and raising taxes on anybody making over $400,000.
You're not letting me talk. I think you brought me on here to be a crash dummy, I think. Okay, I'm up.
Well, they got the dummy part right.
Patriot, I'm supporting the country. I'm supporting the health of the citizens of the country. I love the people of the United States. I don't use them as props at rallies and leave them in the dust in 40-degree windy weather. Okay, I love the country. You got to heal the country first and make the people better. Once you do that, the economy's going to boom. You got to.
What is he saying?
Very simply, we're going to start listening to the scientists, okay, and we're going to start doing things like the South Koreans did.
If he's elected tomorrow, what do we see from a Joe Biden presidency? How does he make the situation better? If you're saying that the central focus is...
Well, first of all, whatever happened to the coronavirus task force, okay, they're going to lay out a plan that is similar to the best... Sandra, you won't let me talk. You know, if you let me talk, we'll move a couple more votes. It's going to be a landslide anyway, but if you're not going to let me talk.
Trump's plan, but what's Joe Biden's plan?
You won't let me talk. You're going to have a coronavirus.
Joe Biden's plan is plagiarize the Trump plan.
Task force. You're going to use the best practices like they use in South Korea and other nations that have carefully contained the virus. And we're going to shut the virus down and leave the economy open.
Oh yeah, so easy to shut the virus down. Let's see if Biden wins, when he gets in and the virus is still in the same number as it is today. Let's see how quickly Joe Biden will get rid of the virus. What he's going to do is perhaps the vaccine that was worked under the Trump administration will be done at the time, and he'll get that out, and maybe then there is a chance that he will tamp it down, but it's not going to be immediate. That is for certain.
The economy will heal alongside of the health of the American people. It's very, very simple. You can't have this. You'll have hundreds of thousands of more people dying under Trump's health care plan. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to die, Sandra.
Putting Joe Biden as the candidate after saying this in 2016. What the media is getting wrong about Mr. Trump, he's not a classically trained politician where he grew up in the political system for 35 years. You are telling people to vote for a candidate who has been, Joe Biden.
She called him out on that one.
I am telling people to vote for the institutions of our democracy. The president had 4 years. He's blown the economy. He's made us sicker. He's trying to destroy the Western post-World War II alliance. Look at the 4-year track record. There's a reason why you're getting the vote. You've got 18 to 25 million people in addition to voting this year versus 2016. Because of the wreckage that President Trump has caused in our society. When the facts change, Sandra, you change your mind.
That's why the Democrats are doing so poorly in early voting numbers when compared to 2016. The Republicans, who actually tend to be the ones that vote on Election Day, in a lot of states, the Republicans are actually beating the Democrats in early voting numbers, or at least percentage-wise beating them compared to the percentages last year.
That's what really smart people do, and that's why they're waiting online for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Policy talk.
Okay, come on.
Issues when it comes to Joe Biden. I hear a lot of. I'm out of time. But
Sandra, what are you talking about? Sandra, it's very simple. It's a very simple thing. Heal the people, rebuild the economy, extra stimulus, 7.5 million jobs, more than the Trump plan.
It's easy for you.
Oh yeah. So easy, Anthony, so easy.
That is a really good plan.
All right. We'll have
What are you talking about, Sandra? Come on. I made my money. I made my money starting from nothing, Sandra. I want to help the people that have nothing have something. That is the American dream, Sandra. Okay, we got to work on this thing together. We've made this thing very uneven. We've got to work on it together. And I'm a patriot. I love the country, Sandra. I'm not interested in my own self-interest. I love the country.
Oh no, he's not in it for his own self-interest. I'll make a prediction here. If Biden wins, and I don't think he will, I think Trump is probably going to win tomorrow. But if Biden wins, this little guy is going to be in the Biden administration, or at least we'll try to get in the Biden administration.
The guy is wrecking the institutions of the American democracy. You know it, I know it, and the good news is more than 2/3 of the people know it, Sandra.
It's not
and you'll watch this thing get lit up.
They hear that?
You'll watch it. They do, yes, they do. Yeah, they know.
Anthony,
They know. They know there's something wrong, Sandra. It's good to